my strategy, cause Marshall Mathers made it. Curtis Jackson made it. Head in the clouds, wondering where the hell was and gate went. How do I say this? I'm living for myself, but I can't figure out why I'm at my temple with this gun. Wake up to a Jesus priest like a Catholic nun. The war to be a rap legend has just begun. Rushing in this 40.
Ooh, it's hot out this morning.
From my pedigree, cause Martin Luther King had her, Aaliyah had her, Left Eye had her, so I reached out to Kanye.
Ooh. Without y'all doing it at the same time. Good gosh. Woo! Congratulations, you're the first in the Live is Live. Nine in the building. That's a multiple of 3, and I am Joseph R. Wheeler the third. 7 is the sacred number. ONYXCON. What's good? Some thumbs up in the chat. If you want to chat, you better be a subscriber. If you ain't no subscriber, then you ain't getting live. Hell no. You gotta show up to show up. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. How y'all doing? We're gonna vibe like we did yesterday, y'all. We got it in a rhythm right about now. Just jamming in the background, got the music going, just ride with me, and I'll be chatting it up every now and then, talking about different things that come to mind. For the most part, just gonna vibe to the grooves. Vibe to the grooves. Bust a move with your thumbs, show and prove. Let me get some love. If you're with me, come on. What's up?
As the blueprint turns 25, Flex 2K becomes Flex 2K. Relive the legendary bars. And unforgettable beats. That made the album a game changer.
100 degrees outside for sure. Even though it say 95, it's more like 100.
I mean, Flex 2K.
Real talk. ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, because I had somebody to say, where are you? I'm in Atlanta. Georgia, US of A. Or should I say DSA? Divided States of America. You know, all kind of mess going on. Anyway, yo. Na na na. I just want to hear that part. Na 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 na. Na na na. Na 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 na. That's all I need. Yeah, I'm on the fence with Mr. Hoover. I saw something the other day. I said, this is just a little too much information not to believe something. It was talking about his alignment with that whole P. Diddy, and I mean, we all know he knows and was cool with Diddy, but then they break down that he was in with the Epstein stuff, and I was like, I'd heard this. It's one of them things I didn't want to even. I was just like, man, I don't want to. It's gonna get to the point I don't want to listen to damn music. And it's like shit. You turn on the radio, every damn body you hear, you know their history. So that's almost better when we didn't know. I mean, I really like the truth. I'm not somebody who doesn't like the truth. I do, but sometimes I just want to appreciate the art for the art. That's it. I know that people ain't worth shit half the time. I know that. You know what I mean? Most people ain't about shit. You know, when it really come down to what they really be about and what they really gonna do. You can see that one, you know, I've been on here how long and ain't none of y'all put a thumbs up. Y'all know y'all ain't shit, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, you know, when people act like that, it's like, it's proof of the statement, you know what I'm saying? There's only gonna be a few, there's only gonna be a few in the world that's worth dealing with regular, on a constant basis, a respectful basis, or whatever. Because most people, they coming from broken stuff, so they do broken shit, you know? So when I found out these things about Mr. Hoover, I was not surprised. I was just more disgruntled with the fact that it runs so deep. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it ain't hard to find. All you gotta do is just, you know, say, what is the conspiracy involving Mr. Hoover and his dealings of the past? And it's gonna go down a rabbit hole, man. It's a real rabbit hole. And it's crazy because like the channel of the dude who I was watching breaking it down, I give him credit. He ain't no saint. He makes it clear that he come from some real sordid past. I forget his name, but he's a black guy, probably about 20-something, 30s maybe. And he's from LA, and you know, he had gotten caught up in his youth and all that gang nonsense, and was all, I mean, he was obviously really deep. He said he ended up going to jail and stuff, but he got out, he became the super Christian. He's always the guy who's praying on his channel, and he always starts off every episode with a prayer, and he always got to mention that, you know, that's what saved his life. But, you know, I can respect that if it's real, you know what I mean? If that really doesn't change you and turn you around and all that. And most importantly, all I would know of him is what he does on his channel. So, you know, it's like anybody else, man, what's going on? Look at this deer. All out in the neighborhood. Oh, man. Took off before I could turn the camera around. But, appreciate the thumbs up. If you're a subscriber, hit the chat. Let me know what it was that got you going. Made you say, oh, man, I like this. You know, let me know. But no, this guy, he breaks it down. He breaks it down thoroughly. And he always says, hey, you know, I'm not here to make it like I'm better than anybody I'm reporting on. I know how mess can be because I used to be in the mess. He's like, but you know, he makes it clear, like the level of mess he was on don't compare by no means to this level of stuff. Well, depending on how you want to look at it. Let me put it like that, because people love to say that, but then ask the victim how it affected them. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. This dude who does the reporting says he used to rob people. Ask the people who he got robbed by. Well, you know, I'm just glad he changed his life to Christ, and he's a good guy. And, you know, I mean, when you really think about it, I only had to get 12 stitches and replace a couple of teeth when he bust me in the head with that forming people for life, messing up their joints, their bones, be hurt forever. Somebody still paying something because of time. Also, I'm supposed to respect that someone else gave him a sentence that's a corrupt system to begin with, and I'm supposed to be okay that they're out and they're supposed to be okay now. Everything's good. I'll try to remember that when I think back to, you know, when I was young and came back from the club one time, one of my boys, and he told me he didn't like his neighbors that had just moved in across the street because they seemed like they're up to no good all the time. You know, the type that barely speak. It's always got people in and out, new cars, new people coming to the house. And there was nothing but glass on the ground where my van was. My first ever van. It was the first vehicle I ever had. My parents got me this Astro, man. I love that thing. And some kids had stole it and went joyriding. But, you know, I guess I'm supposed to, hey, they just kids, you know what I'm saying? They just had to do what they had to do, you know what I'm saying? They just had to go through that little phase. And that, you know, we're supposed to be so forgiving. This is why I ain't a Christian. This is why I ain't religious. Because I can't play by them rules. You hit the ish list, you on the ish list for life. It's the good thing is I never knew who they were. To this day. I don't know who they were. I don't know who they were. And when my boy followed up about it, because he knew a girl who lived across the street with them people who he assumed may have been the ones that did it. He asked her and she, you know, was playing real wide-eyed and stupid, like knowing damn full well it was probably her gangster-ass cousins or whoever that would come visit. And they don't even live here. I don't know, but oh man, that's messed up. You know, it was that kind of conversation. Uh-huh. You know. But you know, statute of limitations, you know, the law, we create a bunch of words in Latin and whatnot that's supposed to make everything all right. It's a statute of limitations. Time done went on. So what you did that back then, it's okay that you did that back then. You've changed. We all, they love to say we all, like we all dealt drugs, we all ran around killing folk, we all was criminals. No criminals, it was just you. It was just you, motherfucker. It was not the rest of us. Some of us have never been criminals. We'll defend our shit. We will take you out if you hurt our family, but we are not criminals. You understand? There's a difference. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, y'all. We're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna get real psychological. Make y'all double tap that brain. Put a couple wrinkles on it, because you know they say if your brain is too smooth, that you're not a thinker. Every wrinkle represents thoughts, analytics, using your brain that the universe gave you for more than absorbing a bunch of bush. So like I say, man, it's like this whole culture of statute of limitation and everybody's okay later and it don't matter what they did back in the back, you know. Like every time I meet somebody who tell me straight up that they did some really foul stuff, but then they changed their life and everything, I can respect they changed their life. That's great. Because if it weren't for people like that, it would just be absolute madness. And some of these people do make extreme differences in the world as they progressed and became new people, right? But then I just, you know, I always say this. I say, you know, I appreciate the red flag. Because once I know that that's what you own, I'm going to forever keep that in mind, that has been a part of you. Because anything that's been a part of you could be a and I'm not one of them people who are like, no, if they say they check in the bit, I don't have to do a damn thing but what I do for me. If that's your choice, you do that. I don't operate like that. Once I smell ish, I know that's ish. I'm gonna look for ish from that ishy ass person. You understand? I know they about some bull, so I expect it to be on them when they come around. And if it don't show up immediately, that's okay. It's always a possibility. So I stay leery and I stay aware and I stay cautious of it. And that's just the way to be in general, at least my way. And like I said, I can't be nobody else but me. I ain't worried about what everybody else do and how they think. And I just share my philosophy, knowing that there's some other people who agree, because that's who become my subscribers at the time. Even people be like, thank you, somebody else thinking. Yeah, we still out here, man. You ain't alone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are not alone. You are not the only one who's like sick and tired of working your ass off and realizing more and more that because of that system, that mentality of putting money first, which is bullshit, that most people subscribe to, whether they say they do or not, they participate in it willingly. So that's why nothing changes, because they don't put respect first. If people put respect first and demanded that the system be built off of respect first, then power, then money, everything could change. I mean, like literally everything could change. And somebody quick to say when you talk like that, oh, you think there's gonna be some utopia. No fucking such thing. But why is everybody so willing to accept another level of hell? Like, we can always get worse. But the minute you start talking about doing better, You're crazy. Why are you always talking about doing something? But man, it's so hard to do better. Have you ever noticed that? As soon as you talk about just, and I'm not religious when I say the word divine. I'm talking about what the word really means. When I say divine levels of change, I don't care what your damn, religion, or if you like me, you're not religious. It doesn't matter about that. It's more about just really what you gonna do. Your actions. Your actions. Not your scripture quoting, not all that other bullshit people love to cover up who they really are about. I'm talking about just what you do. That's it. Nothing but what you do. That's it. So when you really get down to that, right? And you start talking about, man, I want to see something better. I want to see something better. I want to see something better. But I know it's a bunch of bullshit, so I'm tolerating the bullshit. That's pretty much all it is. We be tolerating. Like yesterday when I was jamming out to some of the music, I'm sure some of y'all, if y'all been here before, you may have been surprised that I knew some of those lyrics, or that some of them songs that were a little more ratchet that I'm jamming to it. Because let me tell you something. I got a filter that's on 24/7. I have a filter, a brain filtration system that's like, I know this is bullshit, but it's got a good beat. And then when I'm not one of these people who says that but still does the bullshit, lets it affect them literally, like becomes it. I told y'all before my phrase. I say, you were born into the game, so play the game to win, but just don't become the game. You know what I'm saying? All of this dysfunction, we were all born into. But that don't mean you got to become another level of it. So there we go back to the level again. Most people defend the complete suppression, oppression, continuous downward spiral. They're just like, oh man, that's just how it always been. So, okay, so negative is default. No, I ain't saying that. Then they religious. Then they gonna start quoting scripture again. It's like they gotta run to that for a safety blanket. Oh, hold on. He done damn made me think about what I'm saying, and it's true what he just said. It is literally what I'm just saying. Let me get my safety blanket. Oh, let me quote some scripture. Maybe that'll keep it away. No, truth's still here. Knock knock. Move that out the way. Them words you don't know. Can't say in the original language worth a damn. But you swear you up and down and all around, but then you doing all this other shit. 90% of your life is this bullshit, but 10% of it is this you clutching this book and yelling scriptures and stuff. You're full of it. You're full of it. And most people are. When you face that you're full of it, you can change. When you don't, you're gonna stay stupid and get got. Cause there's levels to that. You ever notice how all these diabolical mofos that have gotten caught, they all, what's the joke about every award show? They get on the podium and they think, who first? Who they think first? What they think first? Y'all know what it is. But that ain't the real. They don't even know what that word means. They don't know that God means that which is invoked. Look it up. Don't believe me, look it up. That which is invoked, or to call upon. That's it. That's literally what it means. That's what the word G-O-D means. It comes from Gut, G-H-U-T. People turn it into all these other things. A man in the sky. If they wanted to be a goddess, they turn it into a woman. It don't matter. All that's human shit. That's human ego. Ain't got nothing to do with factual, what the word came from and what it was originally meant to represent with human beings in ancient India. Shout out to India, because the word is Sanskrit. Gut. Okay, that's the root word, G-H-U-T. That's the root word of God. Look it up. Look it up. Look at it running. Every time I say something that heavy, boy, that number go from 5 to 0 quick, goddamn. And I love it. Because I know how weak mofos are. You're like, oh, damn, safety blanket. That man said some shit I ain't never heard in my life. I know. Well, somebody got to say it. Somebody got to be tired enough to not want to be tired tomorrow. Somebody got to say, I'm going to say that again. Damn, that was heavy. Somebody got to be tired enough to not want to be tired tomorrow. Is that you? Are you fed up enough to not want to be as tired tomorrow? Because, by default, we're going to just be tired. Life is a struggle. It's hard. We got to accept the bullshit. We have to just keep being put down, never giving what we're worth. Blah, blah. No, we do not. The minute you say, fuck that, I don't. And everybody thinks, so that means we're going to fight? No, because that's always the easy default. If they can fight you and kill you, they can get rid of you. No, we ain't fighting. No, we thinking. We're doing just what people are doing right now with my proudest example current of how people are reacting to that PlayStation shit. Now some of y'all like, what? Now we talking about, yeah, we talking about video games. Because it's a perfect example of the true rebellion. People said, man, fuck you. I ain't spending no more goddamn money. I'm already out here, can't eat. I can't play my game either, motherfucker. I ain't spending $100 on a goddamn video game. And you can kiss my ass stealing my motherfucking movies. I'll never buy another fucking PlayStation again. That's what people are saying. And it's got them bitches shaking. I love it. This is it. This is the kind of shit. It's like the last major ass whooping that y'all be on it. Y'all cheer on little local stupid ass. You don't even know why the people fighting. You don't know who they are. You see some visual of some kids fighting or some shit. And y'all out here looking at that old garbage ghetto ass shit. Fuck that dumb shit. That's gutter. I'm talking about boss level beat down. I'm talking about motherfuckers at Target saying, oh shit. They meant it when they said boycott. You goddamn right. Now, since then, they done got weak and went back to shopping. You know how motherfuckers do. But at least they gave an example of what can be done. And the same thing is happening with PlayStation. I signed the petition, by the way. Yeah, the big one. The one that everybody's talking about. I said, fuck it, I'm going to get in with this shit. 70 million, excuse me. 170 million last time I checked. Or was it 1,000? I don't want to be over too much. Nah, let me not say the number. I'm just going, whatever the fuck it is a lot of people. It's a lot of folk upset. A lot of us done spent too much money and time on these games for a mofo to tell you if you see, they ain't get me because, quite frankly, I always tell y'all, the only reason they can get all of us is take the electricity. And that's life, period. Then we're at now it's Walking Dead. Now it's, your big fantasy about Armageddon. Now it's, The Purge and all the other shit y'all think y'all ready for that ain't nobody ready for. Don't wish for that shit. Do not wish for that shit. Okay? Stop playing. It's cute to say in conversation, but don't really mean it when you say it. Please don't. Ain't nothing fun about that. Ain't nothing fun about that. Y'all motherfuckers couldn't sit in the house for a couple of months. For years. You couldn't sit in the house. Y'all was at the club with masks on. So how the hell you gonna survive when it's down to some damn real Walking Dead survival and y'all talking about, well, I got a gun. Motherfuck your gun, man. You ain't making no guns and you don't know how to make bullets, half of you. You ain't ready for shit. I know of one YouTuber, I can't think of his name. If you know who I'm talking about, you're gonna laugh because you know who I'm talking about. And I'm not making fun. I don't know if the brother has a facial something going on with his nerves or what. Young black brother, skinny dude. It's not Rambo. Black Rambo, everybody know Black Rambo. He's legend in the gun thing. But this dude here, he a legend too. I just can't remember his name right now. I think he's got locks too. Brown skin. And he's got this jaw tremble he does. He does like that. I don't even know why he did. Honestly, I'm not joking. I'm not trying to make fun of him. He does it. It's his shit. He wouldn't put it on camera if he wanted to be, if he didn't know people would try him because of how that looks. But that dude is brilliant. When I tell you this dude make his own bullets, shit, he ain't playing. He like, I know one damn thing. I ain't gonna be the easiest one to go if they ever come for me. It's like, yo, this dude for real. He's seriously sitting up here making fucking bullets. And is good at it. You see? But see, other folk be talking all that other shit. I mean, I don't care what you done stockpile. If you don't know how to make it, if you don't manufacture, so I saw another video. Somebody was all in the streets, big mass of folk marching and doing their thing, showing they got their stuff. Oh, that's, I hear you. It says, I'm not gonna say it means nothing at all to let a violent cultural phenomenon of idiots that are racist and psychos that seem to want to pop off at anybody who's not them know that it will not go as smooth as you think, because everybody, as they say, if you believe the statistic, ain't nothing to believe, it's the truth. They say there's more weapons in this country than there's people. Why would you even want that? Why would you want to see that nightmare? Leave that button alone. But the most important thing you can do is use your brain and your wallet. As long as you got the wallet to use, as long as money even still exists, so to speak, because it really doesn't, but for everything's a number on the screen that can be wiped overnight if they want to. That's the lesson that was in that PlayStation situation. If they can wipe your games, wait till everything is crypto, and crypto's not even a word. They'll call it something else, but it'll be what crypto is, and it'll be the new standard, and everything will be digital. They're starting with one thing. It elevates to other things. Today it's your games and your movies. Tomorrow it's money itself. Now I'm somebody who doesn't. I mean, let's be honest. How many of us on average in modern society? I'm not saying nobody, because some of us do. I don't be carrying money. What's the number one reason? They've made it so unsafe. People don't want to carry it. So for years, I don't be carrying no damn money. Everything's on digital and whatever, right? But wait till you get to a point where that's what it is with your money. Everything's completely digital. Where you, even if you got a couple of dollars on you, you can't use those. Those don't. I'm sorry, sir. We don't accept physical bills or coins here anymore. And that becomes the standard for damn near every business, to the point where eventually it's for every business. Because it goes in stages. I mean, if you shop like I shop at the fanciest of stores to the least fancy. And for some of them least fancy stores, I love them because, especially for groceries, right? Because that's where you can get what is still a normal price and a bargain on what, or really not even a bargain, it's really what the shit is ought to cost in this bullshit economy. Like I bought a bag of rice the other night. I think it was a pound and a half or 2 pounds. I think it was a 2-pound bag. Freaking 2-pound bag of jasmine rice. And it's a major brand. I ain't here to be yelling a bunch of brands all in my life because it seems like an ad and it's not. Okay. But it's a major brand. It's a well-known brand for a lot of Asian and Latino homes. I'll put it like that. The Asian Latino connection is very strong, by the way. There's a lot of stores that cater specifically to that demographic and everybody else in between, you know what I mean? Which also includes naturally the Caribbean and my people from the continent of Africa living in America. These are the kind of places I say we shop because goddamn, I love it. These are not only countries I like to visit, it's food that I eat a great percentage of in my regular diet. So I go to these kind of stores, right? And it just never ceased to amaze me that, like, you go to the big brand stores and they do a sale, and it's such a joke. It's like, it'll be the bag of rice that should be $1.50 any damn way. We talking about that little tiny bag, that little thin flat bag of rice, you know what I mean? Of whatever brand, it'll be, normal prices like 2 and some change. Like, why is that so freaking, it should be $1 something anyway. And they'll be like, on sale, locked in price, or Lord forbid, it's the clearance price. Like, it just sat so long and we kept looking at it like, you think I'm gonna pay that much for this bag of freaking rice that small? It won't even last a damn week. I'm not buying that bullshit, because they know that, then they eventually put it in clearance, right? So now the bag of rice is $1.50 and you're looking at it like, that's what the shit should have been anyway. So if I need it, I'm gonna go ahead and get it, of course, but you're thinking to yourself, this is a joke, man, because literally the bag of rice is like, put your hands together like this and cut right there, and maybe the rest of this hand. That's how long the bag of rice is. This ain't no freaking rice, man. It's literally, it literally be like 2 cups of rice. Yeah, it'd be like 2 cups of rice. You literally try to be $1 and some change per cup. Like crazy, man, crazy, right? So when you realize they getting you, right? And you go to these other stores, and I see this I almost couldn't believe what I was looking at. I said, did somebody put up the wrong signs? Because I do frequent the other stores more often, mainly because of convenience. This is what always gets us, convenience. America's biggest monster for money being lost is convenience. People don't always want to spend money where they spend it. It's just the convenience of it. It's like, why the hell am I going way over there? And then now I got to deal with the gas factor. I got to add that in. Oh, shit, is it worth it? Oh man, maybe it's not. I don't think I should do it for that. You get into all that, right? So I'm looking at a 2-pound bag of rice the other night. I wish I had my receipt on me so I could flash it on the screen. I really would. That bag of rice was, I think it was $3 and some change for jasmine. If you know jasmine, I love jasmine and basmati. That's my 2 favorite rices. Those rices always cost more, just because they know most Americans either don't know what they are, but don't eat it regularly. They didn't grow up on that because that's not as quote unquote typical American. But if you like international food, at the bigger stores more. But people got big families and they ain't playing. Man, fuck. Sorry about that, y'all. This damn signal. Sorry about that. But they know people ain't playing about that if they got mouths to feed, you know, a bunch of babies and everybody, or uncle, auntie, the whole, I mean, come on, man, they ain't playing. They gotta have that food, right? So, and people ain't trying to lose, and they ain't got a lot of money, so they real strict with their wallet. They not, no one cares what you think of them that they're walking into the quote unquote less fancy store with the old facility and all that. They don't care. They don't, hey man, they got the deals over there, I'm over there. It's not like the person who literally would feel some kind of way about even pulling up to the parking lot. They're like, oh my gosh, we're going in here. Is this place safe? What you talking about, man? It's just everyday working ass people. This ain't no gangster meetup spot. This is a place where real people come to get their food. That's what the hell this is. You know what I'm saying? And I love spots like that, man. I love them. You know, the real ones. Like I said, the ones that really are safe and are just working ass class people like myself. So they may not have a fancy education that I've had and everything, but yo, still right there in there. I'm in there with them. You know, I like the same kind of food. I never forget one time I was in the, and I don't eat that shit, but it was the ramen aisle. I don't eat that. If I'm gonna eat ramen, it's gonna be some made from scratch, real, you know, stuff. With some real rice noodles, some real, you know, not no just a bunch of salt. No, I don't, no. But I was doing an order where I had to get that. And as I'm getting the stuff, this dude, I think he was Dominican, I can't say for sure, but he struck me like that. He was funny. He was like one of them instant comedians. He was like, man, we all ought to just have a big potluck, man. We all eat the same food. Like, he was just assuming, like, you know, you over here about to get that. You must eat that same stuff I be eating and everything, right? And I just kind of laughed. I just said, yeah, I know, right? And I said, well, this is for an order. But yeah, you're right. Whenever I get orders, man, this is the kind of stuff people be eating for real. They do be eating that same stuff. That's real talk. Oh, man. What are these dudes doing? I hate when you pull up, cats looking. If you minding your business, I ain't worrying about you. But if you looking, you know y'all ain't up to no good because you don't want nobody to see what you... Yeah. In the park! At the dark! Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Girl! Ha! Oh! Mike! Yeah, y'all. Ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee. I still haven't seen that Michael Jackson movie yet. I gotta see it. Man, there's so many movies I didn't see yet. I realize, man, this economy is just taking its toll. There was a time when I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, well, I can't keep playing that game. I gotta like really save up to do damn near everything. So it's like I didn't realize how good I had it the weekend I went to go see Mortal Kombat. It was just like, for some reason, it all worked out that week. And I had a little something, and I went on and checked it out, and I didn't regret seeing it. But then with so many other movies that came out since that I want to see, like I ain't seen Supergirl, I ain't seen He-Man, the damn Masters of the Universe joint, which is definitely more and more the one I think I would want to see first because everybody said it was good. I mean, it's different perspectives. And I always look at all the different people talking and think, would I hang out with you? Would I give a damn what your opinion is? And every now and then somebody will say something, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I could agree with that. And that's who I know I trust. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, well, I gotta see it. I got to see it. So eventually. And then whatchamacallit, Supergirl. I mean, everybody dogged it out, man. But most of the people dogging it out, especially on YouTube, it's the brigade of these women-hating, weird-ass, as they used to call themselves, anti-woke idiots, you know, that don't even know what the word woke really means and what it's really all about. And even if they did understand the true meaning, they'd still be against it because they're really a bunch of racist, sexist pricks. And so they were mad about it and talking about why it was so another girl movie that's not. I was just like, man, y'all like, there's nowhere in the world these dudes, if they're straight, get women. There's just no freaking way. They can't have that. I mean, I have issues with stuff that women do, but I love women, and I know I have to have women in my life. They are part of my sanity, right? I'm a little off right now because I need somebody around me all the time, and I got friends, but I need somebody around all the time. I need a lady in my life. You know what I'm saying? And it don't have to be no all-out commitment. That's a whole other conversation. I mean, y'all may know I dabble in the topic of polyamory and things of this nature, but respectfully, ethically non-monogamous, but realistically, like I like to say, because it's just a reality of the fallout we're dealing with in so many ways, man. Too many folks have been broken in certain ways. I haven't met enough situations with ladies that prove to be folks who could really stand the test of time, not lose their mind, not get so caught up in their anxieties and their worries and weirdness that they mess up a good thing before it can get great. It's on the way to good. It's already a good thing. It's on the way to great, should I say? And they cut it off before it gets to great because they got so many worries and weirdness and just other stuff, But again, we're all in this bag of bullshit together, so I know why. I never not know why, so I'm never really truly mad at the individual as much as the influences that make them make the decisions they make. You know what I'm saying? Versus these kind of dudes that do these reviews, man, these are just hateful ass dudes. They really don't, they must not love themselves. They didn't get hugs from their mom when they was little. Something wrong. Like, never had no real daddy. If they did, the daddy was going upside their head or something like this. Angry motherfuckers, man. Angry. Like, I haven't, because here's how I know they full of it when they giving a review. If they can't explain why, they just keep saying all these little catchphrases for why it's the worst movie I've ever freaking seen, and gotta always mention something about, feces or sexual orientations that has nothing to do with the damn movie. As soon as I hear somebody saying that kind of stuff, I already know, all right, this weak motherfucker don't know how to do reviews, number one. Number two, you probably didn't even finish really watching the movie. You was on your phone halfway through the damn movie because you got an attention deficit disorder, right? But you call yourself a reviewer. Like, tell me something plot-wise. Tell me, hey, well, here's a spoiler. Let me explain a scene to you and explain why I didn't like this. Now, if you could do that and I'm listening to it and it's well thought out, explained well, or worse, I've seen the movie so I know what you're talking about, and you explain it well and say why you didn't like it, and I can agree, okay, we might have something. I can trust your opinion. I might even subscribe to your channel as a reviewer. But if you're just spewing hateful thought, because you know that this kind of mess triggers the algorithm to get, there's people who literally, that's all they look at. They look at, it's the hate algorithm, so that kind of garbage is real. And it's sad that some of these platforms are allowing it. You say you don't want that kind of energy, but you allow it. No, you gotta nip stuff in the bud, man. You gotta be like, you didn't make a point. You're dogging things out, but you didn't make no point. What's your point? What went wrong about this that made it unwatchable? What went wrong about this that goes against your version of ethics? And then once people can explain that, and you know where they're coming from and what they're about, then hell, I'm either gonna agree or I'm gonna totally disagree, and tell it, don't ever show me nothing from this channel again, because I don't want to see this fool in life, So yeah, man, it's I'm not even believing it about Supergirl. I don't want to, because I waited so long to see Lobo. I mean, I'm not like the ultimate Lobo fan, but I do like the character enough to want to see it. Lobo, when written by certain writers, that's another thing, because every writer and every illustrator does not handle the character the same way. And that's the danger of developing a character in comics. Like, sometimes they go astray, not because it's the original, because I always say whoever wrote the character first, like really originated the character, that's the ultimate version of the character. I don't care what nobody else say. Somebody else can do a version we all learn to love, but you gotta respect whoever developed it first and what that character was about. That will forever define the essence of the character. Nobody gonna ever outright me about my characters. I made that motherfucker. That's my character, that's my woman, that's my guy, that's them. I know these characters. I gave birth to those characters. They are mine. If I give them to another writer and say, here's my, constitution of what I expect, And, you know, in my absence, because I'm doing other things in life, or many, many decades from now, once I become an ancestor, if somebody writes my characters, they better damn sure study what I was about and don't try and flip it and make it something I was never about. So I always say, for those who stick with the program and make the character what it was always supposed to be, I see nothing wrong with if somebody is doing that in a character. And the way Momoa talked about Lobo was from a real fan standpoint, like somebody who really did love the character. He said, I grew up reading these books, I love the character, I've dreamed of playing this character. I don't think it was just some Hollywood actor knowing it's a big paycheck at the end of the rainbow. No, he's like, look, man, let me get this money for real, because I get that anyway, but I'm talking about, I want to play a character I've always wanted to play. So I personally want to see what he did with that as an actor, because as an actor myself, I respect when somebody gets them dream roles. It's like when Rock played Black Adam, and some people to this day want to dog that movie out. That was a decent movie. I'm damn sure it was not a bad movie as far as the genre goes, but some people just want to puke on it. And I'm like, what? It's like once the hate brigade gets going, everybody else without a backbone can't be the opposite opinion and just say, no, for this reason and that reason, I totally disagree. It was actually pretty good. Like, there's never been a better depiction of Hawkman, a more realistic depiction of Hawkman. And for somebody to say, well, wait a minute, hold on now. In the comics, he was a white guy, which is, even from his creator standpoint, bullshit. I know I'm messing y'all heads up right now, some of y'all. Wait a minute, you just said, yeah, but listen. If a black man, look, it's as simple, it's as goofy as this. This is how stupid that be sounding to us when this happens. For all y'all racists that can't understand, you're so engrossed in the racist world, you can't see the world no other way. Let me help you out. Oh, gosh. Shouldn't even have to explain this, but, you know, people are stupid. If a brother that looks like Wesley Snipes, you know, very dark complected, very unique, distinct, African-rooted features, even though he's got other stuff running in his veins ethnically, he manifests physically as an African-rooted black man, right? Okay. If he created a character that was supposed to be Senegalese, Senegal is in Africa, okay? If he created a character that was Senegalese, born and bred Senegalese, supposed to be of a specific tribe amongst the Senegalese people, okay? Hell, I'll be specific because I know some Senegalese folks. He's supposed to be Wolof. Okay, now we done got specific. You understand me? He's supposed to be Wolof. It don't get much more than Senegalese, okay? And I'm just saying Wesley did this. Keep up with the story. I'm using him as an example for the appearance of the person to make a point about how ridiculous it is when white folks do what I'm saying they do. The ones who do this, not the ones. If you ain't the problem, stop getting in your feelings. I ain't talking about you. Welcome to the human family. If you outside of it getting all grumpy and mad to hear me even say these words, you got a mental problem. But listen, it might help you. It is your medicine. A Wolof man is the character in the comics. But they draw him looking like Brad Pitt. Like he really is drawn looking just like Brad Pitt. Spitting image. But he keeps talking the language and said, no, bumping. He ain't even talking the language. He's walking around talking like Brad Pitt. But he's supposed to be in ancient times of the Wolof. And he's supposed to be a god amongst their people, a living god. That's the ridiculousness of Hawkman being white in the comics. You're basing it on Egypt. You said it's in ancient Egypt. If you go to ancient Egypt, hell, if you even go to later dynastic Egypt, if you want to say, well, they was white, yeah, okay, well, what you call white? First of all, the constructs had not been invented yet. The constructs of white, black, or brown, all that bullshit didn't start until the 1500s. So in ancient, hundreds of thousands of years ago, Africa, wasn't nobody walking around talking about all the whites and the blacks. That's some modern bullshit. Never existed until later. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you say he's supposed to be a god in the ancient Egyptian pantheon. All of the original Kemetic gods and goddesses were based on African, what would be labeled later as black, through the constructs, peoples. No way around it. Period, point, fucking blank. They would be labeled as black. They would have brown complexions, plural. Not always dark, not always the lightest, not always mid-tone. The chocolate box that we are, okay? Every possibility, but mostly brown to dark, to the darkest dark of melody. That's just the reality. So to make a character and have the audacity to say, you know, that this character is supposed to be this god from a time of a group of people, it's stupid as fuck is what it is. And we tolerated our whole lives as black folk in America. Imagine growing up with you having to reverse that with what I just said. It's like they're talking about he's Wolof or something. Mommy, I don't understand. And yeah, we don't either. You know, your kids confused, ours confused. Anybody who know the truth would be goddamn confused. But if you grow up on the dumb shit and everybody just keeps saying that's just the way it is, that's just the way it is, that's just the way it is, you start accepting dumb shit as normal. And you start saying it's fact, and you start arguing from the standpoint of somebody who had every intent but of anything but to just take something they liked. I like this Egyptian shit, and I can't accept that these were black people, and I can't relate to being that. So I'm gonna take their stuff, put on the clothes, have on the, you know, certain things that reflect that dress style, fashion sense, elements of historical, but never give it credit for what the source is. Never admit that this shit is completely bullshit and could never be. That's how stupid that is every time somebody does whiteface on something African like that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's sick because what's sicker is it's not even something, and out of all the shit we've survived, that, you know, we make spoofs of it, we do different, you know, cosplay is a different art of its own, and I feel like anybody can cosplay anything, but you gotta know how to do it. You don't go into, oh, the character's dark skin, so I'm gonna go blackface and I'm white. No, motherfucker, you gonna get your ass beat at the Comic-Con. Or get canceled online when people take a bunch of pictures and videos of you and put you out there looking stupid. No, you just put on the outfit, that's all, just put on the outfit. And thank goodness that the character wears a mask. Now you can really play. I've met cosplayers who were doing a Black Panther cosplay, and I'm talking to the person, and I can hear it. Oh, there's a white guy in there. I'm like, and you can hear the nervousness in their voice sometimes. Like, I wonder if he's gonna be mad that I'm doing this. No, bro, because you had. I can see your hands because your suit ain't real locked skin tight, and you ain't trying to cover the color yourself. That's no different from cosplaying Thor. I don't know where that left off. But I was saying, you know, it's brilliant when Drewski does what he does because it's within the context of context is everything, man. Context is everything. And something just can't be done. We didn't write the history the way folks miswrote the history. We didn't do the diabolical things that led to all of this backwards ass shit. So I don't know why folk even get mad when black folk do a certain version of this stuff. And y'all been doing this shit for years. This stuff, like, it was the norm. If you know about the history of blackface in this country, it was at one time the norm of entertainment. Real twisted. You know, but you know, people gotta look and delve into this stuff. They can't just hear a couple of things online, especially y'all young folk, and think you know it all. Go look deeper into the topic. And like I say all the time, my phrase, research, realize, and revise. Revise your thought process after you research something and realize something better. Because the world is a whole nother place than what you usually got if it was surface level information with an agenda. To keep you stupid. So, yeah, like I said, one of the best depictions of Hawkman ever. I really enjoyed that. I still need to buy that movie on DVD before I can't find it. Cause they ship all the DVDs and stuff overseas. This is what people gotta realize. When they take stuff off shelves, that don't mean they're going to trash it. Oh no, they sell it to somebody. Somebody gets it. They just don't want this market to have it no more. They want to dictate to you what you can watch and when you can watch what. That PlayStation thing is critical, man. It's the beginning of an era of consumer battles, and it's not going to just be as simple as video games and movies. This is going to get down to everything at some point. I mean, like literally, it's going to get to the point I can see the greed of these people, some of these people, not everybody. Everybody's obviously not agreeing with this, because some people have fought back and are already saying they're not with that nonsense, and they're big companies. So I'm not saying just to be corporate is automatically evil and all that. I'm saying, but majority of the history of this is quite twisted. I mean, you know what I'm saying? ONYXCON is a corporation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, but we are incorporated. We have articles of incorporation as a nonprofit. So it's not about the corporate thing. It's like, I don't operate my business, obviously, with the way I am as a host of everything I do, on some typical corporate stuff. I say what I feel. I speak truth. You know, we get deep on a lot of controversial and touchy topics sometimes, especially in my lives. And that's what makes it so unique. And I'm not going to, you know, I mean, as long as I can, I'm going to continue to be that. And we got to take advantage of that. You know, your freedom of speech is in jeopardy. Everything's in jeopardy, people. And it's all to eventually get enough control to absolutely make you nothing but really have your own life. We'll tell you when to make babies, who can raise your babies, how you can raise them, what they will be taught, what is good and not good, and what's valuable information and what's not. Man, if y'all don't watch it, you better pay attention. It's like our worst nightmares are coming true. Stuff we grew up seeing as these were warning books of other periods in time when stuff similar was attempted by those of power, trying to control masses in a whole nother way, in a different time, ancient time, or even not as ancient, more modern, but still not now, by no means. Like, you know, 1984, George Orwell, I gotta look back and remember when it was written, but this old ass book, you know? Animal Farm and all those different satires of European government structures that were corrupt. This shit is old as hell, okay? Folk been trying to tell the truth, been trying to keep folk awake, woke, and y'all idiots done let them take that and turn you against the truth. Like, oh yeah, woke is bad. Yeah, you out of your mind? Woke was the only hope you had, fool. What do you mean? You want to stay asleep? You want to stay asleep to while they're doing whatever to you? I had somebody in my comments today. I just kept thinking about it. I said, I ain't gave it too much thought. In the moment, I'm going to keep having my thoughts about this whole PlayStation debacle and physical copies of movies and video games, etc. But some kid, and it's obviously a kid, like I look at their page, it's always the same. They don't have no content. They got no more than 20-something friends, if that, maybe 2, 3. Their mama, their grandma, and their dog like them, and nobody else in the world wants to be bothered with these stupid ass. And he got a picture smiling, looking real crazy, with a mouthful of gold teeth, whatever. So, you know, I guess he's supposed to be Mr. Street guy. He wants to be whatever, man. That don't mean nothing, and that don't make you tough. That's just a look. I'm from Atlanta, where all that shit was here before your ass was ever thought of, and I do mean ever thought of, right? And he gonna say, sorry, sir, it doesn't matter. At least he said, sir. I give him that. He ain't come with, you know, because I know they say more, a little troll. He was like, sorry, sir, in so many words. Oh, look at you motherfuckers. as soon as I say certain words. Anyway. But you know, yeah, okay. If you want to make it just fucking shit. As long as you're able, and any time you spend with electricity flowing through the walls of your home to cut on a machine and play a game that does not require you to be online, meaning you can play it with just against the computer, whatever the mission of the game is, the point of the game. If you can play your game with just electricity and you bought it physically, you have a disc and your machine works, there's nothing wrong with the disc, there's nothing wrong with the machine, you've got something. And that's all we're talking about, just having something, if that's something you enjoy, versus not having access to it at all because you don't physically have the disc that would allow you to at least play the damn thing. So there's no way around the fight that is a good fight. And nothing's worse than when people are protesting something that should be protested for the betterment of all involved who say they love the thing, for little idiots on the sidelines who, I think when people say stuff this stupid, the boy said, he might be mad because he don't have a PlayStation. That might be why he's saying, it don't matter, they take your stuff anyway. Yeah, because you mad because you don't have one, maybe. Maybe. I mean, or maybe you do. Or you don't have the new one, so you're mad that, for years you ain't. And I know that feeling. Hell, shit. I didn't always have the new shit. And I'm lucky to have what I got now. It was circumstantial that I have what I have now. It worked out because of something that was happening in my life at that time. And I was helping promote something for a business that was working in tandem with me for their needs, and my talents were helping their vision, and I was helping them get promo, and the person involved decided to bless me with a game system. So I never forget that good deed, but then I also know other bullshit they did. And if they ever watch this, y'all know who you are. You know what I mean? I say y'all, it's just one person. They know who they are. You know what I mean? And that's just what they got to live with. But in the end, I know I did right by them in every way I could. I promoted the hell out of this shit. And what's ironic to this day, because I put their logo on some of my materials, it's still there. I couldn't, it's still there. It's still a salute to their business. It's still going to help their bottom line. But the bottom line is I was able to get my system. And I'm so happy I got it because, now that we know what's going on with the way Sony's thinking about things, man, I was debating, and I don't want to spend no $1,000+ for no system, but I was already starting to think, okay, how you gonna save or try to save so that when PS6 comes out, you do have one, and, because all I care most, the main game I want to play when that finally drops is Cyberpunk 2. Like, Cyberpunk 2 might be the last great open world game I need in this lifetime, because I often ask myself, I say, man, by the time I'm in my 70s, would I still play games? And I just look at, other elders I have around me as examples of what they're interested in, what they like to do, and ask myself, okay, would I do that too? Because of it? And I honestly can see myself still playing. Now, 80s, I don't know. By the time you get to your 80s, I think the only thing that'll be left for entertainment will be good people in my life that love me and what they do around me, my pets, if I probably would have pets, and my vacation times, if I can still travel, I'm definitely going to enjoy that. Always. Hopefully I'll be living somewhere else, and visiting here when I can. But, when I imagine, I probably would play video games until I'm at least in my 70s, if not longer. And honestly, I saw something the other day. Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. It really, man, I'm going to have to learn this brother's name by heart, because he's a national treasure to be in that shape. This brother's 71. He lives somewhere in Miami, I think it was. And you know what I'm talking about. Man, that dude is phenomenal. This brother is a calisthenics legend. He does weights too, but he mostly does calisthenic training. He's phenomenal. I mean, this brother's shape is insane. He's diesel. Dude is diesel. Abs, pecs, arms, everything. He is crunk diesel. And his methods and what he does, he pretty much to his body, he said.